Hello and welcome. Today we're basically going to become detectives. We are going on a mission to crack a secret code. You know, it's a code that native English speakers use all day, every day, and once you get the hang of it, believe me, a whole new world of fluency just opens right up. Okay, let's jump in.
Have you ever had that moment? You're listening to a movie or maybe a song, and you feel like you know every single word, but the meaning of the whole sentence just flies right over your head. It just doesn't click? If you've been there, you are definitely not alone. It's a super common feeling, and there's a really specific reason for it.
That's right. It's like there's this secret code hiding in plain sight, woven into totally normal, everyday conversations. And the key to understanding it all, the real secret to sounding natural and fluent yourself, is exactly what we're about to unlock together.
So what is this code I keep talking about? Well, it's made up of something called phrasal verbs. And look, I know that sounds kind of technical and maybe a little intimidating, but they're not, I promise. In fact, they are the secret key we're about to use. So here's the basic idea. It's actually pretty simple. You take a verb you already know, like look or give, and you stick it together with a little word, like up or out. And then, poof, they transform. Together, they create a brand new meaning. And here's the tricky part. It's often totally different from the original verb. This is the perfect example of the code in action. If I tell you to look up, your first thought might be to, look at the ceiling or the sky. But in our secret code, it means to search for information, like looking up a word in a dictionary. It's a completely different action. See what I mean?
And here's another great one. The word give means to offer something, right? And up just points in a direction. But when you put them together, give up means to quit or to stop trying. The individual words really don't help you guess that new meaning at all. That's the secret of the code. And this is exactly why this matters so much. Phrasal verbs are absolutely everywhere in spoken English. I mean, they're the building blocks of natural, casual conversation. If you really want to get what's going on in your favorite TV show or just chat with a native speaker without getting lost, you've got to know this code.
All right, so let's get out of the theory and into practice. Let's take a look at how this code actually shows up in the real world. At home, at work, and in your everyday chats.
Okay, starting at home, think about it. You probably wouldn't say, "We have no more milk." It sounds a little robotic. You'd say, "We ran out of milk." It's just more natural. Or if your neighbor's dog is barking all night, you might say you can't put up with the noise anymore, which just means you can't tolerate it. Now, let's see how this works in a more professional or academic setting. A scientist doesn't just do an experiment, they carry it out. You don't just give your homework to the professor, you hand it in. And a helpful teacher doesn't just show you a mistake, they point it out. It just sounds more precise and, honestly, more common. And in just regular conversation, these phrases add so much color. You don't just ask if someone likes their coworkers, you ask if they get along with them. It implies more about the relationship. And someone who shows up unexpectedly, they don't just arrive, they turn up. And, of course, the worst one, your car doesn't just stop working, it breaks down. Okay, you've seen the code, you've seen how it works, now it's your turn. I'm officially giving you your first mission. It's time for you to break some codes. You ready for this? All right, first one. You come across a new word. You need to search for what it means in a dictionary. So, what's the phrasal verb here? I'll give you a second. Exactly. You'll look it up. Perfect start. Let's try another one. You're doing great.
Okay, situation 2. The water bottle is totally empty. There is no more. What happened? We've
Run out of it. Yes. Perfect. You are really getting the hang of this. Okay, one last mission for you. Let's think back to those work and study examples. She had to perform the task. She needed to complete it. She didn't stop until she, what?
carried out the whole project. Fantastic. Mission accomplished. You are officially a code breaker. Well done.
Okay, now that you've had a taste of success, let's talk about the long game. How do you go from just cracking a few codes here and there to actually mastering this whole system?
Here's a simple 4-step plan for you. First, and this is huge, context is everything. Learning these from a giant, boring list is just memorizing. Learning them from a story or a real conversation helps you actually remember. Second, you've got to make it active. Don't just read them, say them out loud. Speaking builds the muscle memory you need. Third, become a collector.
When you hear a new phrasal verb in a movie, grab a notebook and write it down. This turns you from a passive listener into an active learner. And finally, number 4, pace yourself. Seriously, this is a marathon, not a sprint. Mastering 2 or 3 new ones a week is so much better than trying to cram 50 at once.
And look, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. This isn't about memorizing a dictionary. It's about consistent, daily practice. Every single time you use a phrasal verb correctly, you're taking one more step towards sounding truly, genuinely natural and fluent.
So you came here today to figure out a part of English that might have seemed really confusing. But now you see it for what it is. It's just a code, and you now have the key. So the question isn't if you can understand anymore, it's what new part of the world will you choose to understand next.